the art. Haters who are just hate watching. Anyone is welcome. Here's Eka! Hellspells is probably the comfiest of comfort shows you can find. This story originated as a TikTok web series from the minds of Jaysea aka Jaysea later, but by now it has way overgrown Jaycea's original concept, and the first book of a trilogy was published little less than a year ago. The concept is very simple. What if hell had customer service? This is a primarily comedy series where every customer service representative's worst nightmare and a lot worse people complain that they went to hell for their own damn actions. But the helpdesk people don't have to follow mortal customer service protocols, including the ones related to violence. However, at times it can get really heavy as well. Many characters, including the ones we'll talk about today, arrive to the afterlife in hard, really traumatic ways. Many characters have to work through issues they faced in life. They learn to accept themselves, love their flaws, and how they can teach it to others as well. The reason I and many other fans think it's the perfect comfort show is its simplicity and how it handles heavy topics. One second the character is going through it, the next someone casually suggests to beat up a pedophile as pain relief. But also Jaycea's world building. Heaven and hell aren't the only afterlife option. Most belief systems, including for outsiders as ridiculous ones as the flying spaghetti monster, are accepted as parts of the universal truth. There's a storyline where the afterlife opens the doors of Margaritaville, and a different one where they call the followers of the Jedi Fate as reinforcement. One thing that I think also adds to it a lot is that even in so-called punishment realms like hell, punishment isn't the only way of atoning for your sins. For example, in hell there are 9 levels, level 1 and 2 of them being therapy levels. It really gives an option for those who act out of pain or brainwashing with no real malice behind their actions. But I don't want to go too deep into the world of Hellspells. I really hope this video will convince someone to watch the series or read the books. You will of course be able to find the links necessary to watch the series in the description down below. Have fun with that! There's one more thing I'd like to establish before starting the main part of the video. While these drawings will mostly fit the canon, they are technically redesigns. I drew them as if I was the one tasked with designing them based on Jaycea's description. To see the official designs, check out Goblingrimm's various accounts. He is the official artist of the web series. But let's not pull this any longer. My yapping is just a cherry on top. Let's start drawing! Who else could I start this video with other than the founder of the helpless herself, Lily? Lily is this very confident woman who will always have a comeback, doesn't matter what kind of bullshittery you bring to her day. She's a mostly established character from the very beginning of the series. Most of her character development happens in the first book, For Whom the Bell Tolls, which tells the story of how she died, founded the help desk, and met her demon boyfriend Boleth. Design-wise, she was the easiest because she looks near identical to Jaysea. I tried to apply shape language a lot during these drawings. I tried to give her a slightly rectangular face to emphasize her strength and confidence. I also gave her sharp bangs to represent her quick tongue and willingness to use violence. I love the way her face turned out, it really screams Lily of the Help Desk. Like I said, I tried to bring in a bit of my own spin to these designs. I decided to give her sword earrings, both because she loves fantasy and is actively training with swords, and I gave her knee pads mostly just to break the grey blob her trousers are, but also to protect her knees if she kicks someone with them. I decided to add a couple sketches to these drawings to further emphasize their characters or show a different side to them. Everyone gets a little comic too with some iconic lines from the series. Not direct quotes though. I may or may not have been too lazy to look for the actual quotes. And of course, Lily sent someone to hell. Well, deeper in hell. For her headshot sketch, I didn't do anything interesting, just a sketch of her. Penny and Sharkie's will be more interesting though. I considered a sketch of her with braids since Goblingrimm usually draws her with them, but I decided on the comic instead. I wanted to give everyone a weapon and I decided to give her a blade. This was supposed to be the one Boleth gives her when they first meet, but I didn't like the colors when I went for that, so regular boring blade it is, though I'm pretty sure she could use that book as a weapon as well. I was almost finished when I realized I'd forgot to give her tattoos. I panicked because I forgot what she has inked, and I own the book, but I don't have all her descriptions noted, and it's gonna be hell looking for them through 600 pages just to find her tattoos. But then I remembered. Souls can fucking change their tattoos on a single thought. So I decided to wing it, draw some random shit and hide some Easter eggs related to the rest of the cast. And so this is her, Lily, future princess of hell, mother to a shark, and founder of the help desk. I also considered giving her fuzzy crocs, but ended up going with the boots after all. Now, if Lily is the embodiment of confidence, then Penny is the exact opposite. Penny arrived to Hell assuming she has no way of earning a paradise, and it just so happens Lily was looking for a trainee. Penny is basically, Florida woman cannot be faced by serial killers, she was thrown an alligator at while working in a drive-thru. And yes, this is 100% canon. We see her gain confidence and learn to love herself through the series. And book 2 of the trilogy will probably also be of her progress since it was confirmed to be about her and her boyfriend Greg. I illustrated early days Penny. She goes through a visual change in the show as well, in the form of an outfit change, and she would probably age too if the medium was different. I honored that in one of the side sketches, but if you'd like me to draw older Penny too, then leave a comment about it. Penny arrived to Hell at the age of 17, so I wanted her to look young. Even later, as she gains more confidence, she is often referred to as the nice one, so I wanted to use rounder shapes to indicate both of these factors. She is wearing her signature oversized red hoodie with some baggy pants. My only regret with this is that her proportions got messed and now she looks even younger than 17. I made her hair partially cover her face to signal her self-consciousness. When I myself got out of a really dark situation, I remember my mom describing it as she tied her hair up, and that really stuck with me through the years. Though now Penny looks a lot like Violet from The Incredibles. I gave her a choker, it really ties her design together, makes it a bit more interesting, but it is also a hint of confidence, something she will have a lot more of pretty soon. My choice of weapon for her is a bat, more precisely, Sharkie's bat. Even as she gains confidence, she's still more timid, she uses violence the least of the crew, so a weapon that technically isn't a weapon and requires less training would probably suit her better. For those who read the first book, yes, that is absolutely the same bat Lily gets when she founds the help desk and later gives the Sharkie as a training gift. It is my headcanon that all trainees will do that at some point. If I do draw older Penny, what weapon do you think would fit her? Now, speaking of Sharkie, I didn't change much about Sharkie because, let's be honest, they're perfect as is. Sharkie was born to an addict but very loving mom whom she was taken away from and died at 8 in a drunk driving incident while walking to the aquarium. Their foster mom told her she needs to go to Hell, but she was too afraid to go alone, so she asked Lily, a seemingly safe adult, if they could hold her hand. And this is the short version of how Lily became a mom when all she did was visit a friend at the front desk. Sharkie, using she/they pronouns, grew up running around the afterlife, went to demon school in Hell, is friends with all deities you can imagine, and they would do anything for her. And this is proven in the very satisfying episode of her foster monster's way too delayed arrival to Hell. Sharkie wears their iconic shark onesie with boots. I'm not sure if they canonically wear shoes, let alone boots, but I think 1. It fits well with their active lifestyle, and 2. It makes them look even more badass and dangerous. Fun fact, I actually based their boots off a green pair of steel boots I myself own. But speaking of dangerous, I used a lot of sharp edges to show their wild nature, especially in the face and in the hair. I think I found the perfect balance of a grown person who could pass as a child and the embodiment of a human gremlin in her face. I especially love her eyes. I rarely exaggerate eye colors of humans and usually stay at a natural shade. Well, not with Sharkie. Eyes this blue are technically possible but are very rare. I think the creepy blue orbs really fit their vibe, don't you think? For hair, I decided on a round, kinda messy bob style, something that's easy to maintain and fits under their onesie's hood. The roundness of the bob also would represent her hidden softness inside our resident gremlin. Ooh, look at the character design master speaking! For their weapon, I decided on their iconic Jaysea. Looking back, maybe a couple stickers would have fitted well, but the colorfully written signature on it is a nice touch too, if I say so myself. In the end of the day, if there's one person in this whole wide world who is unapologetically themselves, then it is Sharkie. Thank you all for watching me draw the Hell's Bells crew. They are of course not the whole group, and if you'd like me to draw them as well, or even Penny's older design, feel free to leave a comment, like, and I'd be honored if you subscribed. I would also appreciate some constructive feedback, especially on my vocals. I am still in that awkward beginner audio phase and I cringe every time I hear my own voice. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye!